All right, guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. So this week we're going to be back on the truck. We're doing some things a little bit different this week on the channel. I'm going to be doing a full install of a lift kit on my Toyota Tacoma this week, and a few other mods we're going to add to the back of the truck that I want to share with you throughout this video. But the first thing I need to do is get this truck jacked up. We got to go through the full lift. I'm doing a full 3.5-inch lift from Rough Country Suspensions. I'm gonna show you everything that I got from them, the different styles of lifts. I've used their lifts on all of my trucks over the years. If I lifted a truck, it was getting a RC lift on it. And yeah, so that is gonna be this week's video. This is gonna be a rough video, you know, kind of not as clean cut and edited as my usual stuff, because I'm just gonna be setting the GoPro up and trying to get this lift done. It's not a hard lift to install, but if you're doing it by yourself in your garage, it does take some time. I've got to do a little bit of trimming up under on one of the plates whenever we drop the diffs down. We're changing the A-arms out. It's going to be a complete lift. It's not just throwing some blocks up under a truck and cranking torsion bars. We're actually changing out the upper A-arms. The struts are being swapped out. So it's going to be fun. It's going to take some time. It's going to be a rough video this week, but y'all bear with me because I've got some plans, some changes that are going to be happening. As you can tell, the rooftop tent is off the truck. I'm gonna show you where it's at and kind of go over the changes that we're making to the truck, so that, you know, one of my big things is fitting in and out of the garage. So after this lift, we are gonna have to do a little bit of change into the back of the truck so that we can be sure we can get in and out of the shop here. So anyway, let me go over the lift with you real quick, show you exactly what I'm installing. I've got another option here that I've had forever that I originally bought to put on this truck, and then I changed my mind, so I'm gonna show you that, and then we're gonna hop into this install. Y'all stick around. So originally when I bought this truck back in 2020, I was just gonna level the truck out, and I actually ordered this way back then. It's been in my toolbox ever since then. But this is Rough Country's leveling kit for the Tacoma, and all it is are these spacers, and these spacers are designed to slip on your factory strut. Not, you know, this is our lifted strut we're putting in today, but they're designed just to go on the top of your strut, and it levels your truck out, because you know your truck factory has that rake where the back end's a little bit higher, and all this does is raise up your front strut and get your truck level. That was the original plan. That's what I wanted to do with it, and I changed my mind. I bought this, couldn't make myself install it because one of the downfalls with this, and it's not that bad, it's just, you know, if you're picky like me, you kind of look at what could happen, or if you want to change it later. But anyway, what happens with this is it lifts the front up just that much to level out your truck, but it changes the geometry of your stock front axles, if that makes any sense. So the geometry is set up from the factory perfect for the front end of your truck, and you don't want to change that or alter that, because then it starts putting different torque and different angles that shouldn't be there. You know, these are engineered to run at certain angles for the bearings to work and your axles to work, and that changes it just a little bit. It's not enough to really hurt it, you know, but if you're picky, you don't want to change any of that geometry at all. So I talked myself out of not even putting the leveling kit on for years now. So what is it now, 3 years, almost 4 years later, these things are still in the box in the garage. But I did finally decide to go with a lift. Now the difference in this lift is it changes everything. We're gonna change the A-arms and the struts. This is the struts that it comes with. These are lifted struts, the N3s from Rough Country. This comes as part of the kit that I bought. And this changes the front end, but it keeps all of the geometry the same. It keeps the angles the same. It keeps all of your bearings. Everything stays at the same angle. It just kind of raises everything up at the same time together, if that makes any sense. So anyway, we're gonna be installing these big old struts today for the front. Here are our shocks. We went with the V2 shocks for the rear. Look how beefy these bad boys are. These are the rear shocks we're gonna be installing. I was originally going to go with the leaf springs in the back, because you can get this kit in two different ways. You can get blocks for the rear, or you can get leaf springs. I got the blocks. We're gonna go with these for the rear. If I was going any taller, I would go with the leaf spring swap. You don't really have to. Adding these blocks, it just spaces up your factory leaf springs and gets them a little bit higher. But in the future, if I decide to go with bigger tires or you know, bigger wheels or anything like that, I may swap these out and add the leaf springs later on, the heavy duty leaf springs, especially if we start having, you know, if I build out the back of this truck to be even heavier, I'll probably swap this out. But for now, these are just fine. People run these blocks all the time, especially for the little bit of lift that we're doing, because you know the rear end doesn't have to be lifted nearly as high as the front end to get it leveled out, because not only are we lifting the truck, it lift levels. So the back end, I think, only comes up about 2 inches, and the front end comes up about 3.5 inches to level everything out. But anyway, there's what we're putting on the back. It's gonna be the blocks with the shocks, and the front, can y'all still see me over there? Let me slide everything down a little bit. Here's the bad boys that I was excited for, and this is what you add to keep all that geometry the same. Rough Country designs their own. Oh, if I can get it out of this packaging, man. This packaging is really good. Upper A-arms, look at this. Aluminum upper A-arms. Can you see that, how nice that is? It's even got the RC logo here. This cap pops off. It comes with your ball joint already installed. You pop this cap off after the install's done, and there's a grease fitting in there. There's a dirt fitting, and we can actually pump some grease in here when we're done before we finish the install. And that's it. I mean, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of stuff, but it's a kind of a slow roll process if you don't have a lift. I miss my old shop. My other house, before we bought this house, I actually built a shop in the backyard, and I had a full lift in my shop, and doing these lift kits was really easy. You just crank her up in the air and you can knock it all out. Today we're gonna be sliding around in my garage floor. I've got about 3 jacks in here, a bunch of jack stands, and it's gonna take a little bit more time doing it this way, but I'm gonna get it done today. We're gonna, hopefully by the end of this video, the truck is lifted and ready to go. I am due for a service, which is kind of good, because after you do this install, you do want to go get your truck realigned. And since I'm due for a service, I'm gonna, hopefully today's Saturday, hopefully Monday I can just swing into Toyota to get my service done, and I'm also gonna go ahead and get the alignment checked out and, you know, straightened up when we're done. And after that, after we get this installed today, at the end of this video, I guess, or after we get this lift kit put on, I'm gonna show you a few of the things that I'm gonna be taking off of the truck. There's a few things that it's gonna help, it's gonna change the look of the truck a good bit, but it's also, I'm not gonna use them as much anymore. But anyway, I'll show you that. We're gonna take some stuff off the truck, and I'll go over the plans for the rooftop tent. And I've got a 270 awning in the shop right now for that, you know, for that camping setup that we're building. So that's gonna be coming up in a later video. I'm not gonna do the 270 awning in this video, but I did wanna let you guys know I finally got it. It's in the shop, and it's pretty cool. Found it on Amazon, just like I found the tent. So anyway, I'm gonna quit talking because I've got a lot of work to do today. We're gonna start jacking this truck up, and I'm gonna film what I can, but like I said, it's kind of hard to film just sliding around on the floor up under a vehicle. But I'll do what I can for you guys, and hopefully in just a minute for y'all, this truck will have a lift kit on it. Let's do it. All right, y'all, lift is installed. What do you think? Got the front jacked up really high. We might even lower the back a little bit more so that we get that really nice. I'm just joking. There's no way. I hope you didn't believe me and like leave the video immediately. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. So I've got the front half almost finished up. I've still got to tighten some nuts down. I've got to put some grease in the upper ball joints. It's recommended to go ahead and put the wheels on, drop it down, get some weight on it to lift that upper control arm up to get some grease in them. I'm going to grease it up, tighten up my strut bolt at the very bottom, and then we're going to move on to the rear lift. The rear lift should be a little bit easier. The front one wasn't that bad. It's very time consuming because on these Tacomas, the upper control arm bolt, the really long one, you have to finagle it around the firewall in there. You actually got to bend in your firewall just a little bit on your inner fender to get it to go out far enough to get that upper control arm off. The driver's side kicked my butt for a little while. The passenger side wasn't that bad, but we got the front installed, and it's been a while. It's been I think this is 5 hours in right now, and we finally got it complete, just about complete. Got to button up a few things, and then we're gonna roll on to the back. But if you drive a truck like this, where you're jacked up in the front, I know you don't. Nobody watches my channel that drives a truck like that. Don't even tell me you do in the comments, because I'm not gonna believe you, because nobody who would watch my channel would drive a truck that is lifted in the front and lowered in the back. I really hope not. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop on the rear now. We're gonna start, after I finish up this front, we're gonna start back here. All we gotta do really is jack it up really high, drop the main axle down in the back, change the U-bolts, and throw some shocks and the blocks in. So hopefully it goes on that quick. We'll see. All right, guys, the lift is complete and I love it. It's actually a few days later. I've already went and had the alignment done. It's perfectly aligned now. Everything's good to go. I double checked all my mounting points and all my bolts and nuts and everything. After I drove it for the last couple of days, I retorqued everything down. Everything was still good, nice and tight. Everything's still perfect, man. And what do y'all think about the height? I mean, it's only 3.5 inches, but that is a huge difference, you know, when it comes to a suspension lift on these trucks, and I'm happy with it. You can kind of see right off the bat, if you remember earlier, I told you guys there is a few things that I was gonna be taking off of the truck, and as you can see, I took the step rails off the truck. And there are some things that we added to the truck that I kind of want to hit on, so don't click away just yet. I'm gonna show you the truck up close, and then I want to show you a couple of things that I've installed on the truck since the last truck build video. But anyway, I got rid of well, I didn't get rid of them. I took off the side steps. If you're familiar with these new Toyota Tacomas, the side steps, they look good and they're functional. You know, they work. You can step on them to get in and out of the truck. But I've always found that they're so close to the actual truck, the step doesn't stick out very far, and it's easier sometimes to kind of go over it, or if you use it, it's kind of awkward because it's so close to the truck. But then again, stepping over it was kind of awkward because it was just far enough out to be kind of a nuisance. So, and plus it looks way better without them, in my opinion, especially with the lift on it. I may do the wheels and tires soon. I'm looking into that now. I don't know. I'm gonna run these for a while, especially the tires. These tires aren't that old. They're the KO2s. They're the best ones you can get. So I'm running those for now, but this is the outcome of that Rough Country 3.5-inch suspension lift. That's the 2-inch blocks in the back and the struts and upper control arms that you've seen me just install on the front. I absolutely love it. It drives nice and smooth, still feels factory. Actually, since I went and got the alignment done these last couple of days, this truck actually drives a little bit better than factory, in my opinion, than it did, you know, before when I just put these wheels on here. I've had it aligned, you know, when I put those new wheels on there last year, but I just feel like, I don't know, it seems smoother. The bumps and stuff going up and down through my property here feels a lot better with this lift kit on. So, but that is the lift. Now, there's a couple of things I want to go over that I've done to this truck since the last build, for those of you who are kind of following this truck camper build. Since we're going to be camping in this truck a lot and going on long trips, you know, the display screen on the Tacomas, you can't really watch anything. Like, you can't watch Netflix or anything like that unless you get something to do that with. So I actually found this little box. It's called the One Box, And I'll show it to you really quick what it looks like. And it's called the One Car Stereo. And that's what it looks like. And I found this thing on Amazon, and I've got a little bit of footage of me actually using it in the truck. I'll overlay right here. But as you can see, you can run Netflix, you can run YouTube, and you can actually do this while you're driving. I know it's not safe, but believe it or not, I have been kind of binging Cobra Kai here lately on Netflix. And I know it's not safe. You don't have to tell me in the comments you shouldn't be watching TV while you're driving. I'm not watching, I'm just listening. But I've been able to play Cobra Kai on the screen on my drive to work every morning. I've got like a 30-minute drive to work, so I can literally do almost one full episode from my driveway to the parking lot where I work every morning, and then I watch another episode on the way back. So it's really cool. I know you're not supposed to do that, but what's neat about it is if I'm going on a long trip with my wife, she can actually watch a movie on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. It mirrors your phone, so whatever's on the screen, you know, whatever you can play on your phone, YouTube, whatever, it pulls it up on the screen of your vehicle. It's very cool, and it's Bluetooth, it's wireless, so I really like it. I'm gonna have it linked. I found it on Amazon. It's actually really cheap, and it works really well, guys. So I'll have it linked below, but tell me what you think about this lift. If I should change these wheels out, if I should keep them. I actually, you know, I really like the wheels. I bought them, but I would like a little bit beefier of a stance, but I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think about this so far. Before I end it, I know I forgot to mention about the rooftop tent. So this truck will still fit in the garage with the rooftop tent, but I'm gonna have to remove those rails that y'all watched. If you watched the video where I installed the rooftop tent a few weeks ago, it come with those extra mounting rails that go across the top. I'm gonna have to take those off if I wanna run it like this, but stay tuned because I am changing up the whole back end of this truck. For those of you that are still watching, I've got some big stuff. It's actually shipped. It's on its way to Birmingham right now, where we're fixing to really change the back of this truck. It's different than what you see here, I promise. I'm not getting rid of this, but we are changing up this whole rear end of this truck. So it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited to actually work with this company that we're fixing to be working with. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. I'm not gonna throw any more spoilers than I already have anyway. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna end the video now. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you next Monday at 6 o'clock. Peace.